I didn't realize how much I've missed Trevor Rabin. It's October 2023 and a new album's coming out on the block. It's called Trevor Rabin Rio. It's one of his first solo albums where he's singing lead and stuff for many years, decades, I guess. To be honest, I haven't followed his solo career. I remember Jacaranda came out, and I think I listened to a couple tracks and thought that was definitely something worth checking out, but I haven't actually done that, so I will do that soon. So Trevor Rabin's new album's out. It's called Rio. Do I love it? Do I hate it? What do you think? What do you think? This is the question to you. You think I'm going to love it or not? I can't divorce Trevor Rabin from Yes. To me, Trevor Rabin is, well, he was the savior of Yes in the 80s. He helped to rejuvenate Yes, although that wasn't really his goal. I mean, remember when they did 90125, they were cinema. They were not Yes. There were 3 guitarists in Yes over the years. Trevor Rabin is only the 3rd guitar player. Before him was Steve Howe, and before that, the original was Peter Banks, right? Yeah, Peter Banks. So Trevor Rabin, I've been talking an awful lot about Yes. Let's talk about his album now. Don't judge it in its first listen. At least that's what my experience was. I listened through it all, and I was a bit confused because it was a bit very diverse, some of the music. I really enjoyed the tracks in general, first time, but I much more enjoyed them the second time and third time as I've been listening to them. And now I'm going on to the fourth, I think. So it definitely you will warm up to it. If you're a Trevor Rabin fan, oh, come on, you can't go wrong. This is a great album by Trevor. I don't know what his former solo albums are like. It's sad to say I haven't checked them out. In his press release about this album called Rio, Rabin stated, "I wanted to get into many different areas. Of course, there are prog things, but overall, there are a lot of styles going on." And he is softening the blow to those of us who are Yes geeks who are expecting 40 solid minutes of Yes 2.0, you know, like the 80s, 90s, Yes, more 90125, more Big Generator. Well, I wouldn't say there's a lot of vibes from this album from 90125, surprisingly. To me, everything after that, though, Big Generator, Talk, and also Union. I do hear echoes and feelings, production feelings, for example, and also kind of chord ideas and things. I mean, interestingly, he didn't really, he never intended to be, you know, Mr. Prog rock guitar player. I don't think that was ever his intention. He just kind of ran into Chris Squire, liked his bass playing, and he liked... what else? He also liked Rick Wakeman. He said he had Rick Wakeman's 6 wives of Henry V or whatever, or 4th, or all the numbers, I get them mixed up. But anyways, so he was already a fan of some elements of that prog, you know. He knew Chris Squire was a great bass player. And by the way, Chris Squire... The ghost of Chris Squire is hovering here and there on this album. I almost hear like Chris Squire is helping the bass player play the bass, which is probably Trevor himself. He's a multi-instrumentalist, so he's your classic multi-instrumentalist producer type guy, songwriter, right? So he's got the songs, he's got the vision, he's got the chops, the dedication, and if there's one thing that's indisputable about this album, it is his guitar playing. The man is a brilliant guitar player, and and it's somewhat flashy at some of it, but you know, because he's capable of putting on some of the flash, you know, like he's kind of incorporates that sort of flashy kind of guitar sounds and stuff. But really, the chordings he's doing, the finger chicken plucking he's doing in some of the songs, just, you know, and also of course using a pick in lots of music as well. The songs he's playing, there's some steel string as well. The solos are all great. I mean, right through the whole album. I'm sure that almost anywhere you drop a needle in this album, you're going to find his guitar is present for the most part, you know, and it's integral to the album. So if you're a big fan of his guitar playing, and I didn't realize how much I've missed Trevor Rabin until hearing this album, and it reminded me of going back to the 80s and hearing all these albums and just really enjoying his guitar tones and his everything about what he does. He's just a masterful guitar player, indisputable. Also, he's a great songwriter, and he does, he's softening the blow for us. He's telling us, he's saying it's not all prog. So if you're expecting all prog, if you're a Yes nerd like me, that's unrealistic. You have unrealistic expectations. You got to expect to hear him be himself. The other thing that's cool about this album is it really kind of helps you to see, oh, now I kind of see how, they used to have a TV commercial about the kid with the peanut butter and the kid with chocolate, and they knock into each other, and then they eat together, and they go, oh, wow, it tastes great together. Well, it's sort of like that with Trevor Rabin and Yes. He's the peanut butter, they're the chocolate or whatever. They come together. This album, when you listen to it, it starts to help you separate, and you start to see the chocolate, you start to see the peanut butter, and you start to see the separate elements that are Yes, and Chris Squire and Alan White and John Anderson, and then you see the other elements are Tony Kaye as well, Tony Kaye on keyboards, and then you hear Trevor Rabin's style. You kind of there's hints of you start to realize, so he was the one who came up with the jazzy guitar concepts, like on Big Generator, when there's like all these thick harmonies going on that are kind of really slightly dissonant sounding, and da 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 da, like really thick 5-part harmonies, which are really cool. He does that a bit in this album. He gets into some sort of new country. Apparently he knew Mutt Lange way back in before Mutt Lange had become a household name with Shania Twain, and also sort of revolutionizing country music and bringing country and rock together. They're peanut butter and chocolate again. We got that idea coming to the surface. So yeah, there's jazzy moments, there's bluesy moments, but every single moment is totally it is totally him. It's his guitar style, it's him. There's jazzy moments, there's bluesy moments, there's some quieter stuff that's really moving, some very quiet song on the album. There's mostly high energy songs and fun, and I actually get the impression he had a lot of fun making this album. He did a lot of the instrumentation. There are other musicians who partook in the album. So anyways, what's my score? It all boils down to being a really good album. It's 4 out of 5 bones. That's the Prog Dog scoring system. 4 out of 5 bones. That's a lot of bones.
Thank you, Prog Dog.
Trevor, he had fun, obviously, and it gets communicated through the product. I mentioned the ghost of Chris Squire. Also, there's a bit of a ghost of Alan White. I really felt Alan White's presence on this album. So there you go. You've got some of the Yes band there. If you're a spiritualist, I'm kind of joking about that, but you know what I mean. So open-minded Yes fans will enjoy this. It's a great offering from Trevor. It's twisty songwriting. It's catchy, lots of great melodies. It's sprinkled with Prog. It's sprinkled with proggy pop throughout. Really, like if you're into prog, some people are going to say, yeah, this is not prog, but actually there are lots of prog elements throughout. There's really twisty, turny, complex stuff, little changes that go on in key and in timing, time signatures. It's just it's a delight. Any prog rock fan should enjoy this, I would say. So that, I guess, is my review. I hope you enjoyed it. We're doing a lot more album reviews on the channel. If you haven't noticed already, there's a list there for all of the reviews that I've done so far, and we're not letting up. We're going to continue doing reviews forever, and hopefully get into doing a best of at the end of the year list. Looking at all my reviews and seeing all the high scoring, the most bones. By the way, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I always do a little commercial at the end for me. DeanWolfe.bandcamp.com. If you want to check out some of my music, I have some stuff there that I posted that got buried and never exposed to the public hearing ears, so there's some fresher stuff there. And also I'm working on a new album, which the drummer has done all his tracks already, and I have to do a lot of my tracks still. So that's slowly, very slowly coming along. So gosh, probably 2024 before you hear even a snippet from that. Spelling it, Dean. Talk to you later. Bye.
Buckle your mind in, because it's about to get blown.
Thank you, Prog Dog.